Hi, hello, and good evening. It is September 19th, and we are here with a very special new friend. We're not going to waste any time. Let's just get into it. I am Kyle Petty, and as always, I am joined by my festy besties, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino. And tonight, we have a very special guest. This is Cass, but you may know her better as BB Updates on the Twitter.
Hello.
So hello and welcome. Welcome to Strat Chat. Oh geez, I still don't know how to say this after our legal woes and troubles. You can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. Okay. So last night's episode, we open up here, right, with Taylor as HOH, and I guess not much more exciting things ensue from that point on. I did actually have two notes that I thought were interesting for discussion, and I'm not prepared. Oh, yes, now Turner and Brittany, this conversation that happened in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
The conversation that was not a conversation.
Brittany ate him up.
This was such a mess.
Like, I don't know who I was more impressed with in this moment. Like, Brittany's ability to just not acknowledge any of this at all, or like Turner not blowing up at it. Like, what's better?
I was shocked that he melted down the way he did. Like, she really got to him. Oh my God, like way under the skin. I thought it was great. I was like, you know what? If this is the kind of Brittany we're gonna get for the last few days of her existence on the show.
Right, because there's chaotic Brittany, and then oh no, is she frozen? Oh no. Uh-oh.
It's probably my internet.
Okay. She's back. No, because it's like we've seen chaotic Brittany where like she doesn't know which way is up and she's just word vomiting and trying to like figure out her way through things. So to see her like so calm, cool, and collected and be like, I'm not doing this right now. I was like, Brittany.
Yeah. Thank you for your thoughts. Or thank you for your comments. I was like, wow. I was like, I wish I could say this cool.
Oh my God.
Right.
I just want to know, like, what did he want her to say that was going to make him feel better? You know what I mean? Because all of that would have happened when she turned around and was like, yeah, I cast a vote. What about it? Like, he wanted to use it for game. Right. I'm sure he wanted to be like, Brittany admitted it. Like, it's good. Like, you guys can trust me. But he wasn't going to get anything like that would make his feels not her as much.
Right. And she even said it herself, I think, in the episode, like, I'm just going to step back and I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to say as little as possible. And I feel like it makes the most sense because she knows that she lied. Like, why give him anything? Why even make the chance that that you might say something that he can use now against you? So yeah, he knows, you know, that you're the one that flipped the vote, Brittany, but just don't say anything. That's your best bet.
Right. Yep.
But like,
oh gosh,
she just thinks she's so smart. Like,
right.
and it just really burns my biscuits. Because then when she goes and she like approaches Taylor and she's like, he's not like going around and saying that I flipped the vote, like, is he? And it's like, this, you just think you're so cunning. And it's
there's
like,
it's two
so
of you.
Right, like you could totally pin a vote on somebody else if there's like 7 people that are voting. But if there's only 2 people, what do you think you're trying to do right now?
Right.
Like, there's a 50% chance you were the vote, girl. Like, like Taylor's going to look at you a certain way. Like, she doesn't know. It's a 50-50 split. So I was surprised, though, how much she, I I guess, like, doesn't know. Like, I thought watching the feeds, she had a better inkling of it. But it really seems like she just genuinely does not know who to trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she literally was like, it's one of them, so they're both going up. Whatever.
yeah, and
Well,
it's not
think
like it
about that.
matters anyway.
I
Like,
know.
I don't think she really cares, like, at the end of the
Yeah.
day. So
Exactly. And that's the thing about all this. There was so much hype placed on like who's gonna go on the block. And I'm gonna put you guys up because I don't know which one of you is lying. And it's like, well, I mean, look, there's only 3 people to choose from. 2 of them are going up. I mean, I don't know why we're putting so much stock in this. None of this
production really tried
matters.
to make it something. Yeah, like
Yeah,
production
yeah.
really was like, this is the storyline of the episode. Who's lying? Who can Taylor trust? And it's like, it really doesn't matter because Monty has all the power now.
Exactly. Like all this
Final
really did
Four
was
noms.
guarantee. Right.
Final 4 noms literally never matter. It comes down to the veto. Like, nominations mean nothing right now.
HOH is no more than a safety comp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It did more than the safety suite did.
Oh my God.
Right?
Any chance I can rag on the safety suite, I go for it. So that was really everything before the actual veto was played, right? There was really nothing else noteworthy.
Not really. This whole episode could have been an email.
Oh yeah, the one comment though, Taylor walking like to the keys to turn the keys.
Oh,
She took literally 2 steps to those keys from like standing back by the wall, 2 steps forward, and it looked
And
like
turned
she
it into a
walked
whole thing.
It was crazy. I was like, oh my God, Taylor, like the charisma just like oozing
Yeah.
out of her.
The planning, though, because that means you knowingly took steps back before you began your speech.
that part.
Like you had to plan for that to happen. Yeah.
Yes.
and somehow like she knows perfectly how to make that ceremony like just as dramatic as it should be. I love her with the red dress and the robe on, and just exactly like you said with the walkout and like it's
She even walked
great.
to put them back with the same walk. Like she's taking
Yes.
the keys to storage. She doesn't even know that's going to be on the show, and she's still walking that way. I'm like, oh my God, what a time! Like, just really knows how to serve it up.
She really, she took a ceremony that essentially means nothing and gave us a discussion point. Because these nominees did not matter at all. Nothing mattered, but the strut did. The strut was noteworthy. The nominees were not. Which
It matters for the fan
Yikes.
cams. AFP votes
Right,
coming up. It matters for the fan cams.
Yep, absolutely.
But now this veto competition was one of those like iconic, BB comms where we had to like memorize the days to certain competitions and moments in the house. I don't know how anyone remembers these things. Oh, hello, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
Cass, so nice to hear you live. I follow you for all my BB Can and US live feed updates. You are great at updates.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Tracy is right. Tracy is right. That's why we all love you too. So
yeah.
I appreciate being on so much because I never, like in my real life, the only person that I even know watches Big Brother the way I do. Like my boyfriend's like, I don't give a fuck about that show. But you know what? If you want to talk at me, I will pretend like I know what's going on. And I'm like, okay. But like, other than that, it's like my boss. And I am never letting my boss know. Like, she's like, do you watch Big Brother? And I'm like, you have no idea, but I'm not letting you know. So it's nice to be here.
Like, what's that? So weird.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I have no idea.
No, that's really great. We would always like talk about your tweets and we're like, oh my gosh, it'd be so fun to talk to her. I'm like, why don't we just ask her? Like, what she says no.
Right.
Like, that's really great. Thanks, Shining Light.
Thank you.
I'm saying thanks. Thanks on behalf of Cass, Like, I think that's great. So yeah, this veto comp, there's no way I could ever play this. I would definitely lose. I don't know how anyone memorizes these things. Just with notepad and paper, like.
It's so funny too, though, because like, as you said, this is an iconic BB comp. This happens every year, especially once you get towards like the end of the season. You have to know the days. So the fact that everybody who was playing this competition was so bad at knowing the days was so funny to me, because I was like, how did not one of you understand the assignment?
Oh yeah.
Especially knowing that like if Michael was still in the house, this competition would have been like 15 seconds long.
Mhm.
I know, right?
Thank God he's not.
Right away.
All right, because this would have been even less fun if that were the case. Like,
Yes,
it would have been
true.
such
Very
a
true.
snooze. Yeah, like come on. Like this at
Mhm.
least made it somewhat exciting. We really didn't know how this was going to go.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I mean, it was an equalizer for sure. The people that are left.
Yeah.
Did you think at all that, I mean, I haven't really been paying attention to like Brittany's studying up until this competition, but did you think that like Brittany would be a little better just knowing how close she was with Michael, and maybe they talked about days and things like that when he was still in there? I was a little surprised that she like was struggling as much as she did. I don't know. Maybe I was foolish to be surprised, but
I
she
wonder
did
too, like what I really love about how they set it up this time around is everyone was playing at once. So there's an added pressure of you have to get it right before everyone else. You don't know how anyone else is doing. And I wonder, because Brittany, we know how like nervous and anxious she can get in certain moments. I wonder if maybe that was part of it. She's like constantly buzzing in. Like Monty was doing the same thing. Like, I'm just going to keep hitting the buzzer because I don't know how anyone else is doing. And it isn't a time trial. So you're not just against yourself. You're against 3 other people in separate rooms. And they probably could. I would imagine they could hear, like, if people were talking things out, like, because the way it looked just like wall dividers, right? It wasn't, they weren't segregated anywhere. They shared like that common hall that they ran down in the end.
right.
They could probably hear each other. That is stressful, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
And I was hearing people saying online too, and I think Taryn brought it up in his update earlier this morning or last night, whatever it was. But because we had seen Brittany and Michael studying the days together, and there's been a little speculation of like, I wonder if Michael intentionally gave her some wrong days here and there, so that like if it came down to the 2 of them in a competition like this, that he would know that she wouldn't really know the days. You know?
That's
It's
very
possible.
interesting. That's very interesting. Certainly possible.
Because they've been studying the days a lot this season.
Right. And we know that Michael would have been on it. So like just knowing that they worked so closely and studied the days together, I was a little surprised to see her struggling and panicking as much as she was. I don't know.
I'd really like to dive into that because listen, I'm not the biggest Britney fan or anything like that here, but I wouldn't say that she was struggling as much as you seem to make her out to be. I mean, she was stuck on that one thing. She said day 3, and it was really like day 4, and that's really where she was jammed up.
She was doing better than most in that competition. I will
Right, she
say.
was doing pretty good. Like
I
she
didn't
just
even-
had
She lost.
one. I know
The
she
one
did
thing I
lose,
don't
but like I don't
understand-
think it's because she was like really getting the piss beat out of her. Her name is up in it.
She knew the one she was messing up on. I was confused at the end. Was it the day that she just kept getting wrong, or was it the total?
was.
Because it just seemed like she knew that. She said at one point, she's like, oh, it's this one I need to change. And then it was just still wrong. Like, that's tough. Like, that means that means you have no idea.
Right.
Oh, it's this one I need to change. And then you're just like, I don't know.
I think it was whatever that was on the bottom right. That was like, I think she had day 3, but it was day 4, or vice versa. It was off like by 1.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
That was her main. That seemed to be her main struggle.
It was interesting to see how other people have been studying, because Turner clearly, he was like, I know the HOHs and that's it. So it's clear that he just focused on that and he has no clue. Like anything else, he has no idea. To have to work the math out that long, that's like, ugh,
that's what's
Yeah.
so funny about Turner is like, yeah, in theory, that's a okay strategy because it's like, all right, I have these benchmarks and then I just figure it out from there. But like the way that the days competition works is like, it's either a competition like this or it's Julie asking what day did whatever happen. And you have to like immediately put up an answer. You don't have time to sit there and count on your hands like, all right, well, if this happened here, then I know 5 days later was this thing. But then if we go back, like you don't have time.
yeah.
Right.
It's especially in that final 3, like you need to have that on the fly.
Mhm.
She's going to be pressuring you. We need an answer. Yeah, I think he's going to do pretty bad in those endgame comps.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I can't say a single thing. I would walk into that house knowing that I'm supposed to know this, and I still would not know it. But I don't know how you could. I don't know how do you remember it if you don't have a list.
And none of them have made a study guide. Like most seasons, you see someone like with just like a MacGyver-esque like setup under their bed or in a corner somewhere.
Even I think
None
didn't
of them
Ozza
did
have
that.
like Cheerios or something, like some kind of like
Yeah. And
Oh wow.
Taylor, unfortunately, oh my gosh, I'm stressed. She did not do good either.
No, she did not.
And just her walk, like at the start when you see everyone sprint and she's walking, I'm like, oh, she does not know. Like she's just like, let me uncover first, and then we'll go from there. Ugh.
But I can't say that surprised me either. Listen, we stand Taylor, we love her, but like her comp performance has not been above par.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
And this is something that, she's even vocalized, and maybe she's studying now. It's hard to know whenever, like, because they sit around and do nothing all day now on the feeds, because that's just how it is. So she could be studying in her head. But if the time to study was when Michael, the walking Big Brother encyclopedia, was in the house, and he would be able to tell you exactly what you need to know. And I don't think anyone really utilized Michael in that way. Like, he's really the only true super fan in the house. Not even Brittany. She's a fan, but you can tell there are parts of her, like, recollection of previous seasons and stuff. She doesn't really know stuff like Michael does.
Right.
So.
Cass, you got a question
gosh. Look, I need to do a reading. I need to do another reading because a lot has changed. I'll tell you what, the day that Monty and Taylor started making out, I drew that tower card for Taylor and I was like, oh no, like that card stands for like big change, like sweeping change, usually negative, but just very sudden, spontaneous changes. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty sudden. It's not on my bingo card for the season.
It's just like the progression of like kind of flirting to making out to like married to divorced that happened with Monty and Taylor this week. I was like, how did this happen so fast? Like,
I really can't wait to get. I really can't wait to get to this. All right, so blah blah blah. Monty wins veto. And that's basically it, right? Because we don't really know what's going to happen from there. Everything else really is conjecture.
Right. Yeah. It's
right?
all
Because that is how the episode ended. So it's not really skipping through. That's kind of where we are. There's not much more.
And even just like the meeting is going to happen live right before they vote. So it's not even like anything on feeds can give context of like what has happened in between.
Right. So this is not even really spoilers. This is just bringing you up to date on what you should be seeing on Thursday. Context around what is sure to be a not generous edit. All right, because we have a lot of other things to get to. All right, I'm sure we're going to have like a jury segment. We're going to get the cookout, which means we're not getting a lot of this stuff. So you hear it here first. All right, it's
it's so funny because like it's just so funny because like in any other season, this is the boring part where nothing happens. So yeah, invite as many people onto the episode as you can because there's nothing to update. And this is the one time that it's like, wait, a lot is happening right now at Final Four. Like we need more time.
Yes.
Ugh, messy. So much is up in the air as a result of it too. Like we really don't know truly where people stand. Well, where two people stand, I guess, at this rate. It's very up in the air. So,
but what we do know, is that Monty and Taylor had already been canoodling. Okay, and now the other things that we sort of know, but we need more context around is some of the tomfoolery that apparently went down last night. So, what do we know?
Oh, gosh. Well, there's pick your gate. There's headphone gate. There's goddaughter gate.
Yeah. Oh, I don't
so
even know
headphone gate is that Monty was like falling asleep or was asleep, and he had the headphones on in HOH, and Brittany was up there, and Taylor she's like, give me those headphones. Like, you're falling asleep. You don't need them. And like, she like kind of snatched it. And it was very joking. Like, it was not like she was mad at all.
Even
it was very faux anger. And
Right.
also,
I watched the clip, and in the middle of it, like, she goes to grab the headphones, and then she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to like also grab it. Like, you're sleeping. Like, I'm sorry. Like, so sorry. Like, whatever." And then took them, and then immediately was like, "My headphones, my bedroom." Like, so clearly joking. And right before she was like, "I'm so sorry. Like,
Right.
when I like, please
I
go back to
also-
sleep."
I also feel like with the way their relationship has been this past week, that seems to me like it would just be like playful flirting. Like, this is what
So
we've been doing all
clearly
week.
banter. Yeah.
Right.
and not only that, but Brittany is in the room, and at this point, no one knows about the relationship. Like, well, Brittany doesn't know. And so I feel like some of it was a little bit of overcompensation too, because she has done that already a couple of times with Brittany, where she's like, "Yeah, I'll work on Monty," and like, acting like she's like frustrated about the situation, and he's in my HOH room all night, and I had to vent to him. I had to yell at him. Like, that was like when it first started, and she was trying to, I think, really downplay how comfortable Monty was there too. So I think there's a like combination of things. Nothing malicious, mind you. That was like just completely misinterpreted by Monty. So there's that, and then there's the goddaughter thing, which I don't have as much context to because I didn't see that happen. But apparently he was talking about like wanting to see his goddaughter, like missing her or something, and like apparently he hasn't seen her yet. And Taylor just like made that observation, like, "Oh, and you haven't seen her yet." And he was like, "Why would you say that? That's offensive." Like, got pissed about it. Like, what? In what world is that offensive, Monty? She just stated an observation. So these two fights have spiraled into, and apparently also Monty has been in the DR. So a couple of days ago, Taylor suggested to Monty, you really should talk to the therapist in the one diary room. I think it's upstairs that they go to for that. You should have, ask for the therapist. It's good to talk with them. And I think she meant more just like talking through the stress of what's going on in the house, talking about how you're feeling. Monty lets Turner know he's been talking about Taylor, and he's been talking about this relationship that isn't even really a relationship. So it's like this whole perfect storm, and it comes together, and it really feels like Monty found something to get upset about and maybe to project on. And today, well, I guess it was last night technically, Monty and Taylor have broken up. They are now calling off like the physical stuff. For people who don't know that yet, they're not going to have late night rendezvous. Monty made a big show yesterday of moving his stuff out of the HOH room, and we can get into the other conversations because there's a lot more to unpack with just what Monty told her about all this stuff. But that's like the impetus of it all.
I'm so like, Monty annoys me so much because like very early on, not very early on, it was preseason. It was before the season even started. I picked him as my winner, and I've gone from like hating him in the beginning of the game to then like starting to come around with him from the leftovers and some of that stuff. And then now it's just like you just continually like have to make yourself look like an ass, and it's just so frustrating. And it feels like he'll talk shit about Taylor, but then if he needs her or something like that, now all of a sudden we're good. And then now it's like, now he probably feels invincible because he's won the veto, right? And now it's like, oh, now I don't really need her anymore. So, I don't have to be as warm and cuddly with her as I've been being. It's just like, I can't stand him sometimes. It's really frustrating.
And it's even more frustrating too, because the couple of clips that I have seen from what happened last night, first we see him and Taylor having a conversation where like, poor Taylor, all she did was be like, "Give me my headphones," like in a jokey, like flirty, silly way. And now she's sitting there trying to like do these mental gymnastics to try to justify why she would do something like that. And she's like, "Yeah, it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about how like my whole progress in this game has come on the heels of men, and everything that's happened to me in this game has been because of like the way that men treat me or talk about me. And I guess I was doing that as a way to try to like show Brittany that you can take up as much space in this game as Monty can. So I just, and like, she's just going off on like this tangent of like, girl, all you did was take your headphones off him because he was asleep. And now you feel like you have to like therapize yourself and try to like figure out all of this backstory to a situation that like wasn't even a situation. And then we saw her later on in the HOH bathroom by herself. And she's like, oh, we're back to the Taylor's a bitch narrative. And now, you know, it's Taylor's public enemy #1. And here we go again, that I've done all these terrible things. And like, you can just see how much it's worn her down.
And for people that don't know, like the things that Monty said in this conversation, he said that basically Daniel, Nicole, and Paloma, they were right. They had some points about you. You're going to get out of the house and you're going to see why people thought of you a certain way, which they bring up even those 3 people beyond foul. Paloma, who had mental health issues in the house, and 2 other people that went out terribly from the game that everybody saw and acknowledged later on after their evictions, like Daniel especially. So awful to bring that up to her. Very personal. Like that altercation is really the only altercation of the season, unless you want to count Alyssa and Joseph, which I don't. But she thought she did something there, but she didn't.
Right.
And,
right.
and, you know, he said, like, you know, I feel like, you know, I see 2 different sides of you, and you're being so cold now that you feel safe. Like, none of those things are true. None of them. She has been so warm. Like, watching Taylor, like the showman's version of Taylor, she has been so affectionate and warm to Monty. Like, she convinced half of the fan base that they're like falling in love. like she has been just very supportive, and it's really like the scene, like when she was in the bathroom, like really like, now we're back to the bitch narrative. He really took her back to that place from like week 1, week 2, and it was just beyond foul to see. Like, absolutely disappointing. Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah.
It's too bad. I wanted to say, like, do we think that maybe on some level there's some kind of a game reason behind any of it? But no.
And the worst part,
be, you know,
the worst part is, in terms of game, he has told her now some very, like, a couple of things that I don't think you can just take back if you change your mind on who you want to take to final 2. So, like, he has told her, like, I'm taking you to final 2. And she has asked him why. Why are you taking me? And his reason was, I would love to sit next to you at the end. If I lose to you, I would still be very happy. You know, first Black female woman winner on the season. I will be very happy and very proud. Like, these are things that when you say them to people, they matter, and that made her feel good, and it's significant. And now with how he's acting, you can't take that back. It's already out there. And so I feel really bad that it could hurt even more if he does change his mind and he doesn't take her. I feel even worse in that case, because all of this then really, like, her game ending will have stemmed from this short relationship that was like a relationship, a showman's, like really just having sex, like getting out some frustration. You know, it's just, it's sad. It's sad all around for Taylor. So.
Yeah. God, I feel like she's never really had a break. Like, it was really bad in the very beginning, obviously, but then even like now, at this point in the game, stuff from the beginning is being brought up, and she gets accused of you know, of things like people saying she's going to be aggressive or she's going to freak out when she goes on the block, and then she's always the exact opposite. She's the most like warm and understanding person, and it's like she just continually gets accused, but also gets treated much more poorly than she deserves. It's unbelievable that like she still has to put up with these accusations from week 1, and somebody actually saying that Paloma and Daniel and Nicole were right. Like, that's unbelievable to me. That like she still has to hear stuff like that, even at this point in the game. Like,
even I think it was today that even like Turner and Monty were talking about, oh man, if only Paloma didn't leave. If only if Paloma were here, she would have won the wall competition. Like, why are we talking about Paloma, first of all? Like, and just why, like, to claim back onto that again so hard just to, like, shade Taylor or just to, like, shade Brittany. Like Monty said, they don't know, mind you, that Brittany would have been safe week 1. But he was like, Brittany would have been gone week 1. It would have been so different. I'm like, yeah, it would have been the bad place. It would have been a terrible timeline had Paloma stayed over. Like, it would have been awful.
I don't even want to think about how much worse this season would have been.
Oh my gosh, it would have been terrible.
God.
When they mention these people,
God.
I don't even like remember that stuff. Like,
right?
I know that Taylor had a rough start. Like, I remember that. I don't know, brings up some bad feelings for me, when I think about the beginning, but I don't remember the faces or the names really involved, if that makes sense. It feels like such a removed part of all of this.
It feels like years ago.
It really is.
Yes.
It really is.
Like, when I look at a picture of Nicole, I'm like, wait, who? Like, that feels like, but when she was in the house.
There are times when, like, the opening credits are playing, and I'm like, who's Amira?
For me, it's Amira, because I'm like, who was that even? What week was this?
Yeah. All you know is that you see the face and it really annoys you. It's like seeing the cold face. I'm like, wait, I forgot about her though. It's like,
right.
I actually start using names and
about
stuff. I'm like, wait, who? What?
Yeah.
Really crazy. Yeah, I'm like, I can't believe we're still talking about Paloma.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
And
Unreal.
the fact that her and Daniel have really like doubled down on their like.
But who's surprised?
It's so gross.
I am a little bit.
Yeah.
I am.
I am a little bit too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just because they got eviscerated in all of their exit press.
Uh-huh.
Daniel, I mean, Hanachata laid the smackdown on him.
Yes.
Yes, Kat actually came at him pretty hard in her little interview with him. And he had said at the time, and I really did believe this, like, not that I really cared, because I feel like what I saw of you is already like, I don't like you, you're trash to me. Right. Like, I've already dismissed you. But at the time, he was like, I want to sit down and have a conversation with Taylor. But you're still doing all of this after you left the house. Like, you're still talking really shady and crappy. And it goes to show that you're really not remorseful. You're not regretful at all. And that conversation you have with Taylor, we all know it's going to be a sham of a conversation because you haven't been sincere in your actions since you've gotten out of the house.
If it
so
happens
I am a little
at all.
surprised.
Right.
If he even talks to her.
Yeah, I feel like that's just what we said because we were leaving the house and I was getting a little bit of heat. So that I had to say that. But, no, I am a little surprised that we doubled down. I am.
He even I go so far out of my way to like avoid and ignore his social media presence, but sometimes it just pops up and like you can't help it.
Yes.
And this
and
man,
I blocked it. I'm like, I have to press it.
It's just like he barely has more followers than I do, and he's like, my verified account, all of my fans. See, I told you the season was gonna be a snooze right after I left. Look how boring it is. It's so much better with me there. I'm like, just shut up.
He's really
Nobody cares about you.
He's really going the BB21 Sam route, where if you've not seen Sam lately on social media and like whenever during any Big Brother season, like really just, you guys don't like me, so I'm just going to be the worst person. Like, does that make you feel good? Like, you want to be, you agree you're the worst person. Like, you agree then, right? Yeah, it's really disgusting. Nicole is the only one doing it right. Where's Nicole? Where in the world is Nicole?
Radio silent.
Radio silent.
What's her last name?
Leog.
Leog.
For all I know, she's out on a boat, like in the middle of the ocean somewhere. Like, she is just completely detached from reality.
She's like, I'm not going to be part of this until I have
she's
to.
like, I have no clue what any of this is anymore. What's Big Brother? I don't remember that. And that's the way to go right now. That
I
is
can't
definitely...
I still can't believe Paloma thought it was a good idea to put that video out on TikTok.
Oh my god!
I still can't believe it. Like, why do you think that's the way to go?
And to do that, like, we're giving you, like, I feel not all Big Brother fans. You can never speak for all Big Brother fans, but like, people were giving her the grace of, like, you had mental health issues going on in the house. When she left the house, it was like, you know what? Like, she's going to focus on herself. She's going to work out those issues. And, you know, I hope that she gets the space to do it, because a lot of people will probably not give her that space. And then she was just like, well, now that I'm out, let me talk about... I'm like, no.
Let me talk about all the ways
like,
that Taylor actually bullied me. It's like, girl.
We're trying to be nice to you.
Pineapple.
I love it.
Oh,
I have some other questions. You know, just because, you know, we see some things on Twitter.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
You know, we see some things, and it looks like there's somebody out there who burns your biscuits a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know, like, what's going on. I don't know much about this spoiler girl. I found her pretty entertaining. And then I kind of saw that other people did not find her so much so. And in the thread of hate was your face. So I'm just a little curious, like, you know, what's the beef? Where does she say she gets her information from? Is she ever actually correct, or is it like, you know, like what?
So,
what?
So the beef, and like, people don't even remember because it was like preseason, and like, who even cares anymore? But
yikes.
So the day of Roe versus Wade overturning, you know, very tough day. You know, if you're on social media, that's tough as it is. And spoiler girl, she doesn't just have a conversation in her comments. She quote tweets to respond to anyone. And someone asked her how she felt, like, how do you feel about Roe versus Wade being overturned? And she was like, quote tweeted, no comment. And it's not even like, I don't need to know your political beliefs, but you are a spoiler account for CBS shows. You are not a celebrity. This isn't the paparazzi stopping you. If, like, you're not important enough to give an answer that A, is like a non-answer, but B, could also come across as pretty hurtful to people, to like people that are hurting right now. And it was just like the self-entitlement of, like, I have to make a statement, and my statement is I'm not going to make a statement. Just like no one cares. Like, no one cares. So I did call her out. And any other day, I would have just ignored her. I used to follow Spoiler Girl until I realized, like, okay, she really doesn't. No, this season is different, and we can talk about that. But really, before this season, I was like, she has no information. She has no tea. She's a fraud. And when I realized that, I was like, okay, I'm not following her anymore. This is just weird. But
well, and there's like a couple of those accounts that just like they feel like fan fiction. It's like, I don't understand what's happening here.
Well, like Spoiler King.
Yeah,
also.
like
Spoiler King has in his bio. This has made me mad all season. Has in his bio, this is like a parody. Like, this is like not real stuff. And everyone is like, Spoiler King said this. I'm like, Spoiler King is a fan account that turned into a spoiler account and is just writing fan fiction and is telling you this, and you're not even like listening to what the account is telling you.
It's literally like saying like incorrect BB updates and being like, this happened. Like,
yes.
Look, there it is. Somebody typed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Spoiler Girl got really offended because I made a joke. I was like, we need to find out who Spoiler Girl is. I'm tired of her. And obviously I'm not like putting on like my sunglasses. I'm like, okay, we're going to hack into the mainframe. We're going to find out who Spoiler Girl is. Like, it was clearly like, it was clearly like a wry, like sarcastic, like tongue-in-cheek kind of remark. But of course she's going to take it seriously because she was all mad that that I even said anything. And she was very mad preseason at a lot of the Big Brother accounts for just not believing her. And she had the tea. My theory on Spoiler Girl. Okay. I'm glad I got the opportunity to say my theory. My theory is that Spoiler Girl is just some person who loves soap operas, CBS soap operas in particular, loves attention, and has no connection to CBS at all beyond, like, she used to have all the time, like, if you have information, if you have spoilers, if you have scoop, DM me, email me. And I think a source just slid into her DMs, and she had a source for most of the season. I think they're gone right now, by the way, because all the information is now, like, you can't verify it. It's all like, this is happening in the jury house. And it's like, well, we don't know that. We cannot know that for sure. Like, you could just be making up stuff. She used to do that all the time. Right. She doesn't have any comp information anymore. She's not giving us anything that's, like, significant. Not that there's that much left. But she was right most of the season. But all it really was is someone actually gave her information and was supplying her information. And I think that person got caught or just stopped because they didn't want to get caught. And it's that simple. And she just took that and, like, made this whole, like, I'm this rich, and she already got exposed for being a catfish on Instagram. So, like, that's just Spoiler Girl.
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
I saw this because didn't she say, "Oh, this is me," and she, like, covered it up with some kind
they were
of
like
emojis,
yeah.
like that.
I said, like, she was like, "Guess who I am?" And someone, like, reverse Google image searched it and was like, "Here you are."
Yeah, like, surprise.
And then she was like, "Why did you do that?"
Kyle, don't you dare bring up Ravoost. You know it took me a really long time to get that sentence out, so I made sure I got it right that time.
We were talking offline, and we actually brought this up. And
I tried
Gina
to say
wanted
reverse
to say
Google
reverse
image
and
search,
Google.
and I said Ravoost.
Yeah.
And I was like, how come her mistakes are never on the air? Like, no one ever sees when she messes
Also,
up.
that's not true. Yes, they are. There was definitely one episode last season where I said a vote by mistake, unironically.
I say all the time on Twitter, my thing is I always say when I update, I'll swap the HOH for the veto, and people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why I do this. I promise I know Big Brother. Like, I don't know what I'm saying, but I always swap those for some reason in updates. But yeah, no, you know what? Spoiler Girl, I don't like her. She isn't like me, I'm sure, because I still have her blocked. And that just is what it is. But I appreciate her source for giving us information this season. That was kind of fun. That hasn't happened in a while. So yeah.
So she was correct some of this season? I wasn't even
She
really
was
following.
correct a good portion of the season in terms of, like, competitions. And the biggest thing that I was like, okay, she definitely has information, is calling out the veto use from Terrence. Like, Terrence won that veto during Dire Fest, and she spoiled that ahead of time. And that was like, if you're wrong about this, like, you're about to get
you're totally debunked.
Right.
Yeah. But she got that right. So, you know, and not, like, there are plenty of Big Brother accounts that get spoilers. But when you get in the spoil game, the minute you're wrong, Twitter's going to rip you apart. And that's why I want nothing to do with it. So if other people want to do it, go for it. But don't tell me anything, because I will never share it if you do, number one. And number two, I don't want to, like, take someone's word and be like, oh, yeah, and then post it and then just get immediately dunked on because I'm gullible and I listen to someone in my DMs, you know?
Right.
So, but every now and then I get a little bit of tea and information. Big Brother 22, I had the whole cast. That was like my ooh, I got the whole cast. Like, that was impressive. I didn't say a word because people were getting ripped apart for saying the same information. Right. Like, it was a source that went to, like, multiple people. I'm like, well, I'm not saying shit because these people are getting blown up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit by myself.
People are like, David, there's no way David's on the cast. I'm like, I'm not saying a word. Like, I'm not saying anything.
There's so many
funny
things to be said about that season. that
Ugh.
never should have been.
The only season I have not watched all the way through because it was so boring.
Really?
I was like, oh my
Wow.
gosh.
You
I
gave
stopped.
up on it. Damn.
I followed the updates a little bit for like Devon and Bailey and to see like can the underdogs like make something happen at any point this season, and it was just like a shutout. Like such a hard shutout. I was like, this isn't fun. So
That was like, I always love to try to like, and these two are a perfect example, that I try to get people that I know into Big Brother. Well, let's just come like watch this show. It'll be great. And there's like a group of my friends that I got to start watching Big Brother season 22. And I said, God, I promise, I promise it's actually good. This is fake. I'm sorry.
I agree.
yeah, rough time.
Yeah. I
Rough
had
month
gotten
before
somebody
it.
to watch because it was an all-star season, and now they will not watch again.
Yep.
And I was like, damn it. And I really tried to sell it too, because I'm like, oh, they're all-stars. These people are really gonna play.
Yeah.
And it was such a flop. They're like, so when does it get good? And I was like, it should have been now.
It should have started good.
Yeah.
See, I really got introduced to Big Brother in the best way because so Gina had introduced Kyle to Big Brother, and then Kyle introduced me to Big Brother, but I didn't start watching it like at the start of a new season. Kyle was like, let's watch this season together. So like, you know, we were going back to old seasons that we heard that were good, and we were just watching them straight through, being able to binge them. And that's how I got hooked on it, because I watched like 5 seasons of Big Brother, and then by the time we were done, the new season was finally starting, like when the summer came. So I was like, oh my God, my first real season.
Right. You were like all geared up, ready to go.
Like,
it's honestly, it is a miracle that I still watch this show because my first season was 19. I watched season 19 and said, yeah, I would like to watch more of this.
Yikes.
You know what? 19 in terms of live feed coverage really ate. Like nothing game related. The game was terrible. The people were awful. But watching Raven be crazy as hell on the feeds was a joy. I was like, oh, I hate Raven so much. And then I would get on the page, I'm like, what is she doing? I need to know what she's doing. I'm like, oh my God. She's telling, it was so good at times. Like the live feed moments, but they weren't like the moments that really like made the episodes. Otherwise,
right.
It was just yeah. Well, I've been watching, I grew up with the show. I was in, I think, like 5th or 6th grade when the show started. And so I've seen every season. I don't remember them all super well, but I did not start watching live feeds until Big Brother 18. So that was like the first time I really started watching that. So, and I like Big Brother 18. I think Big Brother 18 is an underrated season. It's very satisfying that the Polly leaving part of the season is just like you want that. Like you want that to happen so badly. So
yeah.
But yeah.
See, my first season was Big Brother 20. But I didn't watch that live. So I think it was 21 was the first one that I was live. Isn't that right, Gina? I think you told me to watch Big Brother 20. And one of our favorite friends of the pod, Matt, I recommended BB20 to him as his first season. We met over.
It's a great season.
It is a great season.
It is good.
Matt is one of my favorite proteges. I came across Matt because I was watching Australian Survivor on Paramount Plus, and then it was suddenly yanked from us. Okay, and I was like, "What the hell?" And they just took Australian Survivor like off Paramount Plus, and I was like, big mad. And I found this awesome account that was just tweeting a threatening GIF at Paramount Plus. Right. Yes, until Australian Survivor returns day 1, and it was like just some animal doing something crazy, like whatever it was. This is really funny. So I would retweet it, and I went back to this account every day for like 30, 40 days. And I guess I should follow this guy. I don't know if it says follow this guy. and now we're friends. We talk all the time.
Wait a minute, that's who Matt is?
That's
Yeah.
who Matt
I didn't
is.
realize that was the same account. That's so funny.
I didn't know this either. Can I tell you? I told
my
John
gosh.
that. Oh my! I can't believe I
Yeah,
didn't tell
no,
you this. Gina.
That's
this
so
is so
funny.
funny. I love this story.
Yeah, this
This is
story.
why
It's one of
yeah.
my favorite
This is
stories
why
to tell
this
now.
is why Kyle and I always get so excited when we see Matt too in the chat, because like
Aw.
this is
Yeah.
so great.
I love
So
an
I
origin
just thought
story.
whoever Matt was had just like stumbled upon us and just was like a really fun person. We were enjoying this season. And then I was talking to who I just thought was my Australian Survivor friend. and he was asking me Big Brother questions. It's like, yeah, I was like, do you ever watch the pod? You should watch the pod sometime. Like, we have a good time. He's like, I watch all the time. I'm Matt. And I'm like, no way. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a really fun story.
I love
Really,
that.
really fun. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
funny.
such a good
Aw.
story.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
I love
really
my
funny.
friend. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So yeah, Big Brother 20. People don't talk about it enough. It was a good time. It had
It
a lot of
was.
messy moments. Yeah, it did. It did.
A lot of people like they really poo-poo the end of the season because,
Poo-poo.
but it's like, what do you expect? Like the people that you were like, a lot of people were rooting for were just bad at the game. Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
Like we tried.
Right.
I cheered
That's-
for the Hive so much. Like, I was so convinced. I was like, okay, Bessie is going to not do this. They're going to convince him. Haley's going to sit him down and convince him. I was like, they are not going to evict Scotty. It is not going to happen. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do? Like,
I
when
mean,
your
like,
faves are
that
flops,
season-
it is what it is.
That season gave us Rockstar's daughter's birthday. That season gave us Sam as a robot. That season gave us What's Wrong with Angela.
Yes,
So many iconic moments.
What's wrong
on
with
the season.
Angela?
What's wrong with
There were
Angela
so many.
is just one of my favorite things. Like,
Fucking, what's her name with the
ever.
puzzle? Caitlin's puzzle.
Caitlin.
Oh my
Puzzle,
gosh.
Yeah.
The week that Fessy, that Haley and Kayla were on the block and Fessy won the veto, oh my God. Like, I was
Oh.
literally like, I'm not leaving my room. Like,
Yep.
I am watching the feeds. Like, I'm not leaving because this is drama. This is like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh. And the
Gold.
meltdowns, so good. Very,
I
very
am
sad.
so sorry that I was not a feeder sooner. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I
I
think
gotta
about that all
tell
the
you.
time.
yeah,
With
and like
the
it's
older
really,
seasons.
it's really so terrible because we covered Big Brother 23. That was our first season as a podcast, right? And
Okay.
Gina was our feeder, and John and I did not really watch. Like, we only listened to what she told us. We're like, no, we don't care about that. If it didn't make the episode, it doesn't matter. And we're like, we're just so wrong. It's just so wrong.
It would be so
So
funny
wrong.
because they would be talking about
Oh.
like 100% facts based on the edit and be like, and this happened and this is gonna happen. And I'd be like, actually, wait, excuse me. I would keep like bringing things from the feed and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, I remember even early on in the season being like, guys, I'm telling you, Tiffany is the one to watch. And they were like, who is Tiffany? Tiffany doesn't matter. And I was like, no, guys.
Like, you need to listen. You need to know.
I was like, Tiffany, the phlebotomist. I was like, no, I'm not listening to this. And then meanwhile, cut a few weeks later, and I was campaigning harder for Tiffany Mitchell's America's Favorite House Guest. I was campaigning harder for that than Joe Biden. Okay. I was going hard. It was every day on my Instagram story. If I have ever made you smile, if I have ever made you feel good, even once, please text the name Tiffany to 97979. I mean, this went on for like weeks. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
have you guys watched Big Brother Canada?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Some of it. A little bit.
We covered our first season was BB.
We covered
King.
season 10, yeah.
We did
Yeah.
do
Okay, you did. So, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did
Betty
watch
is my
that.
favorite house guest
Betty.
of all time.
Oh,
Of
yeah,
all time. The
Yeah.
feeds for that season, like, oh my gosh, they were so good. I was like, oh, I hope you guys watch that season because it is. I love that season. And
It was a great season.
like
It really
so
was.
many good characters. Oh,
That was such
Betty,
an interesting time in
Josh.
life too.
the drama.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Craziness.
did also watch. I watched BB Ken 1 also a while ago.
Okay. I haven't
What's
seen
BB
all
Ken
of Big Brother Canada. I've not watched 1. I've seen 2. I've not watched 3. There's some that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
4.
I
I'm
remember
laughing because all during
Kyle was
BB
getting
Can
upset.
10.
Yes.
Yep. Because all right, so I was watching because now we got it all on Paramount Plus, right? So I watched BB Can 1. I said, "Oh my gosh, this is so great! This is really wonderful." I was watching BB Can 2, and I was down to like final 4, and then I got spoiled, because the theme of BB Can 10 was bring back previous winners to Wendy's. I was like, "What is this crap?" So anytime the Wendy's segment would come on, I would run out of my room and just go stand in the kitchen. And I'm like, text me when Wendy's is over. I'm like, I don't want them spoiling any more of my BB Can season.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah. Really big time mad. But
Kyle and I, we also covered the last BB Australia, which was.
See, now I did not watch Australia. Just because like some of the updates, there's like, is this rigged? There was like some of the stuff I was like, is this rigged? Like it just seemed like people were like the updates I thought I was like, why are these people always coming back? Like I swear to God, like this person left like 5 weeks ago and they're still in the house. Like what, you left the house, you walked out the door. How are you here again? Like
I
go
will
back.
say there are definitely moments where you could say I could see where production manipulated this.
Yes.
But I have to tell you that so much of the other gameplay is so good that you don't even care. It is such a good show.
Yeah, it really is.
The gameplay is just so different that like rigged or not, it's really, really fun to watch.
The production value of it is also just really sick to see. Like the challenge, like the little challenges and tasks.
The challenges are like Australian Survivor. It's quality.
Yeah, they're like really.
They're up there. I mean,
really
of course,
intense.
they're still not up against the same. They're still in much better living conditions. Like, don't cancel me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they're having the same experience, but the challenges themselves are very physical and very exciting to watch. Yeah,
I watched Tim's original season in Big Brother Australia. I forget the number. Is it Australia 7 or it's I honestly forget.
Not totally sure.
But
I don't know either.
Watching like the challenges and stuff, I'm like, gosh, like this is crazy. Like like they really know how to like kick up some drama. I wish that BBUS would do that more. Like right now, like Final Four, this would be a perfect time for some big task to like win a party or something. Instead of like, okay, guys, here's a tie-dye kit, go do something. Like,
tie-dye kit.
Like they're sitting around tie-dye. Like the only person that's really excited for this is Turner. He's like, okay, like he probably does that like for like, oh, that's like Wednesday night back home. Like,
wait a minute, wait. This isn't a joke.
Oh no! Like they actually got a tie-dye kit.
They're tie-dyeing right now.
I just thought you were being like really hilarious.
They
just gave him a tie-dye kit and like that is really funny.
They really did.
Yeah.
And Gina like validated it. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening? Like,
no, I laughed because it's
like
just
incorrect
stupid
updates.
enough that like.
Wow.
I think Turner was wearing a tie-dye shirt while making a tie-dye shirt.
Yeah.
He's really going.
They're all sporting them now. I think Taylor had hers on today. They look good. So, yeah.
It's like you always know that like things are about to get real bad when like they're like, oh, like we got a deck of cards, and it's like, oh no.
It's like, oh great God. Like that game that they're playing, like with the ropes and what's it called? Like the one that they have in the backyard right now, where it's like the I don't know the name of it. Shit. Where they're like tossing like the balls are on like each end of the rope and they're like tossing in, like you gotta hook it on the thing. It's in the backyard.
I have no idea what you're talking
I'm not having a stroke. Ladder ball. Okay, there we go. That stuff like that, when they bust that out, I'm like, oh God, like you've hit the low point of the season. And like this is what they're getting. But I'd rather have this than alcohol now because alcohol is how Monte started, and I don't need like just keep the alcohol away.
Yeah,
Keep
Taylor
it
and
away.
alcohol. Taylor and alcohol do not mix very well. She was talking about Daniel at one point.
We're wrapping up in a
God.
week. Come on.
If they do drink,
Kyle.
if they drink, I want Monty called to the diary room. Like, Monty, please come to the diary room. And then everyone else gets to enjoy it. Or like they bring back Pandora's box where he gets locked in there and the rest of them can all go enjoy. Like the other three can drink. But he's cut off.
God.
He's cut off from Taylor. He's cut off from everything. Oh gosh.
Matt wants to know if anybody watches The Circle. So they would definitely do something like a tie-dye challenge.
I do not watch The Circle. The format to me, it's like it's cool, but it's like clearly this is like probably really like weird to execute like as like a game that actually is a game. Like I can't like when I watch it, I'm like, God, like they really just text like they're talking like this. Like there's no way this is natural. Like it's just very like weirdly stilted in a way that I just can't get into. Right.
I completely agree. I watched the first season and I was intrigued. And then I wanted to watch this most recent one because the Spice Girls were in it, and you're like, we ride hard for the Spice Girls. But
well, even
I couldn't even
we
get
knew
through,
someone on it.
I'm sorry.
Season 3, we knew someone on it.
Right? Yeah, we did, but I didn't watch that either. Yeah, it's just not good. It's just very uncomfortable because these people who are in these apartments by themselves, like they're trying to like be so extra. To be and it's like, but it feels it feels more forced than a DR.
It's like it's a never-ending diary room session. Is really what
it just gets more and more cringy as they go on.
I always laugh where it gets to the part where like the two people like go to dinner to figure out like who they're gonna eliminate or whatever. It's like they got all like dressed up and do their makeup nice, and it's like no one sees you. You're going to a virtual dinner. What do you mean? You're not seeing anybody.
It's
Matt wants to know who we knew. We know Matt, but he played as somebody else. Who did he play as? I think he played as like a girl or something.
Watch the season. I'm so sorry.
Catfished or something. Matt Papadilla is who we know.
There were two people on The Circle that I can say I technically know them, but I don't like know them like that. Like this isn't my bestie or like a real life friend or anything. But it was Alex on the most recent US season. I know, and then oh god, the other guy's name. They're both people that played orgs, like online games, and I played one of them. The first guy that was on. Oh my god, what is his name? Now it's gonna. Dang it! I don't even have my original Twitter account to look it up. It starts with a J. He got out really early. He like tried to be a girl and. They had like a makeup challenge and it just like completely exposed him. Like we had to make up a mannequin. He was like, He's like, I'm done. And like I think he like left like right after that. But and I don't even know how Alex did because I didn't watch the season at all. So
it horrifies me that there's even international versions of The Circle at all.
Oh, there's so many.
I know, it's horrifying. Just shut down. Just shut down production. It's very good.
Okay, but listen, to be fair, all I want is I don't even want to be on The Circle. I want someone to catfish with my pictures more than anything in the world. Like, I want it so bad.
That would be incredible. You'd be like, Jack, yes, thank you, Matt. That is who it is. I want. He was in my sequester season, my very first sequester season. He played with us, and yeah, that's how I know him. So. And now he's doing like one of those like boxing events where like all of like the BB Canada people are. He's like getting involved in those now too. So yeah,
I've always been very intrigued by those. But they're always some like weird nights, and like I don't know if I want to pay for it.
Right.
The highlight for me. So the first one that happened. When they announced the matchups and they said like Rockstar was going up against Maddie from Big Brother Canada 8, the COVID one.
was the COVID
yeah,
one.
eight.
That
And I said, Matt, I was like, Maddie's got this. She's gonna win. And everyone beat me up on Twitter. People were losing it on me. Like, Rockstar, she's gonna kick this girl's ass. Blah, blah. I'm like, no, she's not. Watch. And sure enough, I was right. You all were wrong. I was like, this is a actual athlete already. Like, you don't understand. Like, she was a collegiate athlete and a tennis player. She got quick feet. I don't know anything about boxing, but I know that matters. I know quick feet matters. I was like, she's quicker. That was my my pro analysis of boxing. Yeah. But then a lot of those fights ended up in like DQs and crap. So I don't know.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I feel like there has to be a reason why there's not more hype around them. You know, because like they're pretty like quiet. Like, because even they don't post about it like a lot. You would think that like you'd see more of it, like even on their socials. Like, hey,
I feel like the only person that I've ever really seen talk about it is Scotty. Like, no one ever talks about them.
Fessy does sometimes.
I don't.
Victoria, BB Can 9's Victoria was promoting. She promoted the first one really heavily. I haven't heard anything about the second one in a while though. Just like the bouts were like, the cards were. I think that's what they call them, cards or whatever. Fighting cards. That's what it is.
We don't know these things. We just watch reality TV.
I don't know either.
We don't know.
I'm just making shit up. Oh gosh.
Well, do we have anything else? I feel pretty satisfied.
I want to know. Do you guys think Monty is taking Taylor? Do you guys think he really is going to take
really don't know. I don't know. I'm stressed out about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he might.
I'm leaning to yes, but not for any of the reasons he stated already. For the reasons of like he knows that, or he thinks he knows that he can beat her. He hasn't come out and said that yet to anyone, but the way he talks about Turner's game, he's very like, Turner made all these moves, like Turner did this, Turner did that, he's good at competitions. Like, it seems like he's gonna cut Turner. And he's no longer...
And it's very interesting too, because like I feel like he and Turner are always talking about like, oh brother, blah blah blah, like they're like best friends, like they're dudes, whatever. But like I feel like Turner is so certain that Monty would take him, but I've never heard Monty ever allude to Turner that he would take him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's like, oh yeah, like he locked in the final two and that was the end of it. Like Monty never really says like, yeah, like it's going to be hard to cut Taylor, but you know, we'll cut Taylor and it'll be fine. Like when he and Turner talked about the showmance, that would have been the time if Monty was serious about taking Turner to say like, don't worry, I'm still taking you. Like we're locked in. Like, you could even lie to Turner at that point and be like, don't worry, I'm taking you. Like, we're locked in. He didn't even do that. And I was like, maybe he'll stick with it. And I'm just like, please stick with it. Like, please don't
I also say, I don't think that we gave any, like, airtime to this part of the conversation, but, like, Monty had a big Alyssa moment during this conversation with Taylor where he was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, after everything that happened today, I just, like, is this really the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with? I don't really know. And I went, wait a second.
Like, hold on. Nobody thinks you guys are going to be together forever. No one thinks that.
Like, this is not a marriage proposal.
Who said that? No one.
Wow.
Oh, God. I was like, is that Alyssa in there? I thought we evicted her last week.
He was losing his mind in the house today. Like, no one thinks you two are together forever. Like, most people know what this is, you know? Like, I don't expect you two to be, you know, doing the Derek X and Claire after you get out of the house. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. He's doing too much. So.
Wow.
Mess.
All of a sudden, it's going to be Taylor and Monty on The Amazing Race instead of Taylor and Joseph, right?
No.
Oh my gosh.
That would be terrible.
I think they are going to get on their hands and knees and beg her to do the challenge. That's what I think is happening. I think they are going to literally grovel at her feet, like, please come on the show. Because like Amber Petroza is on it from Big Brother 16. And she won. Like, I could just see her and Taylor like tearing it up together.
Well, I mean, the moment that there was that competition where Taylor like almost fell off the wall and then she didn't and she like saved herself, everyone was like, get her on the challenge.
Yep.
That would be awesome.
I think so.
Would it?
Well,
I think so.
Maybe not the
Taylor's
BB.
not exactly the comp queen. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
listen, it'd be fun to see her again. But let's be honest. I feel like she might be out pretty quick.
She would probably need like the US one that they just did, where it was like people that weren't like fitness,
Right?
like people that weren't challenged lifers, basically, that just went on and were like, we don't know what we're getting into, like Tiffany and Aza and like Alyssa. They were like, we're just here to do whatever.
Right.
Like, we don't know what the hell we're getting into. Like,
We're just here to do whatever.
like, we're just making TV. And they did. I saw some of their episodes, but
so funny.
I'm not a big challenge fan. I don't know. It's hard for me to get into it, but
We love the challenge.
do you? I'm not a huge...
John and I love the challenge. Gina's along for the ride. She likes to chat with us. She's not as into it, but like, we love the challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've watched the challenge since high school.
Okay. I used to watch it, but now I just feel like the formats are weird, and then they like get really like hypersensitive at times, and then other times I'm like, well, why did they do this? And then not like weird decision making.
Everything you're saying is 125% right on.
Totally agree.
Can't get enough. I can't get enough.
Yeah, I love it. I still love it.
I'm so excited to bring in our hot mess to other countries now, and we get to see other people play our messy game. I can't get enough.
It's really funny. I follow the spoiler account Gamer. And
gamer.
And it's so funny to like watch them spoil all of the other like international seasons. I'm like, who's giving her this tea? Like, where are they getting this from? Like, Survivor, like.
I stopped following because sometimes they're too correct. I'm like, you're messing these up for me. I'm like, you're taking the fun out. I don't want to know something. I don't want to know these things beforehand.
That's when I decide whether or not I'm gonna watch a challenge season. I'm like, oh, the Big Brother people did good. I'm gonna watch, or like the Big Brother people I like, mind you. Or it's like, oh no, I don't care about this person. I'm gonna watch it.
No, I watch the challenge no matter what.
Like when I saw the winner for the US season, I was like, I'll watch the US too.
But no, listen. The final was a mess. Okay,
that's what I heard. I was reading
real bad.
But the road getting there was very exciting. Okay.
A lot of people were really hyping it up at the start for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely
it was a good season overall.
It was a really good season.
The final was bad.
Total mess.
The final
8 people
was a
dropped
disaster.
out. 8 out of 10 people dropped out of the final, and one of the 2 that did finish was very questionable.
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of discourse.
But you can't say that too loud, John. We'll get shredded for being babies again.
Whatever. I want to see the footage. I want to see the footage that Sarah finished all those puzzles.
Ooh. Matt says, Challenge USA died when Shan was eliminated. Don't at me.
I was following for the Big Brother
There's a lot
drama.
more still happening.
There was a lot of
Big
Brother discourse over it. I'm like,
Big Brother picked each other off so quick. I was like, y'all, you need each other. Do it later.
I was like, why are they putting each other out? Like, what's going on? And then they were fighting. I was like, oh no. Big Brother 2023 was back. I was like, they're back. One more time.
They're there for the wrong reasons. Yeah.
Alyssa went for revenge, like, right away.
Yeah.
I could not stand Alyssa on the challenge season.
She's
I
another
don't.
one. She thinks she's so smart.
She thought she was on Big Brother 23 too. She like really thought like, oh my gosh, I'll never forget when Claire got evicted and Alyssa thought she did that, and I was like, girl,
Yeah.
like wait until the season ends. Wait until
Open your
I
eyeballs.
was like, wait until you're evicted and you see the truth. Like she really thought she was like, I did this, and I'm like, you did nothing. Nothing. You won the veto, and that's good for you, but you didn't. You're not the reason why Tiffany is voting out like her number one. Like, no, just stop.
Yeah.
But,
I don't even remember that.
yeah,
I don't think that was
Goes
even
and Kyle's
on my
like,
radar. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, I wasn't even paying any attention to that.
yeah,
I don't
she
remember
really
her
thought
as
she
a
did
part of that
something.
season at all. The only thing that really resonates for me with Alyssa in BB23 was her non-relationship with Christian, because that was bad. And that very unfortunate moment where she spun the roulette and put Xavier on the block. Like,
oh my god,
that is what I remember of Alyssa's game.
wow.
Anything else along the way is a blur.
I forgot about that.
That's all I remember. Just
That was
one big flarn. You know,
that was an incredible moment. That was an incredible moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's definitely. She wasn't like a memorable. Like even if the story wasn't about the cookout and those being the best players in the house, that's season. She still wouldn't have been. I don't think like
she had
a
no
huge,
noteworthy
like
moments whatsoever.
no,
None.
no.
None. And then she came in all hot to challenge USA. Like so undeserved. What is all of this? Yes, the flarn, always the flarn.
Yeah.
That is how we can underscore Alyssa's appearance in BB23. And I guess the challenge USA. I mean, I guess she got further, but did she? Based on the amount of people left, I suppose not.
Yeah, but Angela still kicked her ass.
Yeah, that was a flarn.
I also think that they also, picked that for Angela.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we cannot risk having Alyssa in the final. We have to make sure she goes to pole wrestle. Alyssa, she can't win that. She can't win that. Like, that was absolutely a setup.
Oh no, not pole wrestling for Alyssa. Oh
Right?
gosh.
That was like
so bad. It was the fastest elimination I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, that was like
I just picture Alyssa being like, hold on, Alyssa. She's just being like flung around like a rag doll everywhere.
The elimination was such a non-event that they coupled it with the final. They didn't even think this episode was worth enough, like, of its own week's worth of, like, advertising revenue. It ended coupled with the final.
Yeah.
Oh my
god. That
they were
elimination
like,
was like,
and also Alyssa's gone. Okay, let's go.
Exactly. Don't leave.
That whole elimination was like, Angela, you have to do this because you came in last place, but just go in there and have some fun, just for a couple of minutes. It's like you got this. Don't worry.
You have to.
My God.
You have to pay your dues.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But all right. Do you have anything else for the benefit of the community? Well, listen, Cass, this was a blast.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
Thank you so much for coming. This was really great.
Yeah.
This was really
I
great.
am available whenever. So
that's amazing.
We love it. If we can get you into the challenge, we'll obviously be doing that. We're also going to watch a season of Big Brother Australia in the off season.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to keep up with that and hang out with
I
us.
always mean to watch Australia, but it's just like the update just gets so zany. I'm like, what's going on anymore? I also don't know, how do you guys watch it? I don't even know how you watch it like live.
Well, now there's 2 seasons on Paramount Plus. So we're going to watch
you're going back,
Yeah,
obviously.
we're going to watch an old one.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to keep up with that with us, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Be your first experience with that gameplay.
Yeah.
It's a good time. But then definitely Canada. And if they haven't said anything about Celebrity, right? We haven't seen anything. Is that coming back?
No.
Nothing in February. Nothing. There was that little rumor that Julie wanted that all winners season. Did you read that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Like, I don't know how that would work, and I don't know how it would happen. I think all of the winners that people would want to see are people that are not going to come back. Like, they're just they're just over it, you know? Now, I do, but I will say, though, if they did have one, the winners that I want to see, June, I think she would come back in a heartbeat. I know Rachel would be down for a winter season. She would come back. Like, there are some people that would. I'm more interested in the second chances rumor, personally. I think so. It was Spoiler Girl, actually. So again, we're very much in the rumor territory. But this was back. This was back when she actually had information, so she wasn't just bullshitting at the time.
Mm-hmm.
She put out there that a second chances was being discussed, and I think that would be so much better because there are plenty of people that have not been invited back that I think would do it. Like, I think Danielle would do it. I think there's several people that I think they can make a good cast from that. I don't know that a winter season. I'm like, I don't know that I want to see that. I think some of these people probably would just phone it in, like BB22.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like after BB22, the odds of us getting a season of returning players is very low.
It's just not going to be good, I don't think, and it's also going to be very imbalanced.
Do you think, like, would you ever want to see a season where they do something like this, where it's like a winners or something like that, but it's like a combination of like BBUS and like BB Canada players?
What I want is BB Can versus BBUS, because that would pop. Like, that would be so good. Take the best players from Big Brother Canada. Like, you can make a great cast out of Canadian players.
Yeah.
Bring the U.S. players that want to do it, I guess. and I think, like, it would bring back the players that you want to see, like the cookout players that are very good and very talented. But
Janelle would absolutely come back for something like that.
Janelle would. I think there's plenty of people that would come back to do the Big Brother Canada versus Big Brother US. I think that would be really fun. And
love that.
And if they had it in the Big Brother Canada house, oh my god, that would be so amazing.
Oh,
like Big Brother Canada house, Big Brother US live feed experience, because the Canadian live feed experience is a little little
janky.
Bring those things together. I think it would be a great season. Absolutely. Yeah. So I just don't. I think that's probably fan fiction. Unfortunately, only because probably. I don't. U.S. like they really don't care about this show like Canada does. Like they really don't care. Yeah. They're like, we're not paying for people to go to Canada. We're not doing that. Like, we're not putting that on. It would never happen, which sucks. But what can you do?
Yeah.
Can you do?
Well, that's all we have going on. So either that or so either whatever happens in February, if we get something. Otherwise, I guess BB Can will be the next live one that we have going on. Sadly.
I'm hoping it's Big Brother Canada All-Stars. That is, a lot of people are really building up, trying to drum up hype for that. I know they had a casting call, but they would do that anyway if it was All-Stars. And Betty's ready. She's ready. She's waiting for her call, Arissa. Like, she is waiting.
I would love to see Betty again.
Betty and Ike.
We love Bitter Betty.
Oh my gosh. Like, bring back an all-star cast. It's time. Like, they really need to do a true all-star cast. Yeah. None of that like half measure. Even though Big Brother Canada 5 was amazing, none of that like half measure stuff. I am ready.
Yeah, I want to watch more BB Can seasons as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I watched Big Brother Canada season. I started the Canadian live feeds with 8. Or no, that's a lie. With 7. And Big Brother Canada 7 is very boring. Just very, very boring. So don't watch that one.
Yikes.
The
All right.
COVID season was going to be a train wreck, even if it didn't get canceled, because they had 2 ejections. So don't watch that one.
Oh no.
Yeah, that
Um,
one, that's not even on Paramount Plus. Just so some 17.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah, it's
Oh
not
wow.
even available. Yeah.
That was a disaster in the making, because if you don't know, two people got ejected, one unfairly and one fairly. And then there was another one that did nothing but complain and want to quit the entire time. It was about to quit before the season got canceled. Like literally, if the season did not get canceled, she would have quit like that week because she was done. So that would have been a flop season. But Big Brother Canada 9 is good. Big Brother Canada 9 is good.
I heard that.
I heard 9 is really
I heard
good.
9 is
Yeah.
Big Brother
amazing.
Canada 5 is probably, I consider it, oh, Big Brother Canada 10 is really good. I consider Big Brother Canada 5 the best season still, I think, though.
Was that Ika's second season?
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
I hear a lot of that. I'm
Oh.
very
Yeah.
interested in that. I'm very interested.
I would watch at minimum Big Brother Canada 2 before that one.
Oh, I did
but-
watch. Yeah, I did watch. Well, 2 is the one that got spoiled at Final 4.
Well, yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, so like I
See,
saw it.
you got the gist of it then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good season. That's a really good season.
But yes, you are welcome back anytime.
Mhm.
Yay!
So you can find Cass on Twitter at BVUpDudes with a Z. Okay.
Yeah, there was a tragic incident.
Yes. Because you had your own legal woes.
It was so bad. The email account that I used for that account was a very old one that I did not use for anything else but Twitter. And that got compromised. My Twitter got compromised. And I'm like, well, now I can't get in to anything. So that's gone. That's just gone. Oh, well. I kind of like it, to be honest.
It's like
Kind of
starting
nice. Yeah.
Starting
It's
fresh.
like, yeah, it really is.
free of old baggage.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out tonight.
Thank you.
You can find us on the socials at StratChatPod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. Thanks again, Cass, and yeah, see you all soon. Thanks a lot.
Bye.